This is Justin Amazon on Monday, August 5th, 2019. Today we start out just this big consolidation right here on this line. Get to that in a sec. It rolled down, retested, and had a really nice rollover down to this line. Almost made it down to the 1747 price that we've had in the chart for a while, and then started to bounce from there. The only problem is after hours, it started to roll back over, and a little further after hours, it's pushing even lower. And so where we end up tomorrow, I don't know. I don't know if this will be taken out and we're back up here or possibly above this. If we do get up here, then I think that could be really bullish. If we're down here, then I would expect some more selling, just like we went down over the weekend, and we were moving lower, pre-market today. We tried to move a little bit more bullish. Really nice hammer here. Next candle moved up higher. You could have been trading this with a big counter trend, so you could still do an entry above and a stop below, but looking for an R, just kind of scalp something, will get you above the pre-market high, maybe right at it. And as you can see, we barely made it past this high from the pre-market. So this was kind of the price that we're selling down from, and then just chopped and trying to do something directional all through the morning. Even right into the noon hours central. This is where things started to roll over, then started to recover, and you had a squeeze forming all morning long that then fired to the downside right in that lunch hour. So back to these lines here. Now this is lighting up like a channel. I'm like, well, what line is that? Because on the daily, I don't have that. I just have 1747, which goes back to June of last year, June 20th. And we had looking at it on the daily, we had a really nice bounce off of that. Really nice high wave candle, really high volume. And coming back into the 5-minute here, it's like, well, what is this? We double clicked on it. It's like, oh, it's a channel. It's a channel from February 19th through February 26th. And I'm like, well, what in the world is that? I don't remember. I don't remember what was going on back then. And it turns out it was in this range. So the 19th was right here, and the 26th was right here. And I must have drawn a channel on a 5-minute, because I don't even see it on the daily here. Not even on the daily here. It's like, okay, I must have drawn that in and then not deleted it, because sometimes we'll just get days ahead of things and I'll forget to go back. But I just thought it was really, really, really interesting that the consolidation we had here, we pretty much channeled into today, chopping on here. But I mean, and I don't even know if these lines are pointing at the right days. I just was really surprised to see something else at this level, and then to see it, honed in on. I mean, that's not something I had in mind at all. Maybe some automation, some computers, something did. But yeah, I don't know. I was really surprised to see that. The only other way you could get that is probably connecting some of these lows through here and see if it lines up. So we can do that on the daily, but to still have that on the 5, man, I don't know. So if I just draw, let me draw. I'm going to kind of connect some of these lows or thereabout. And let's see. I kind of want to get that closed because that's a big candle. I kind of want to get that open because, yeah, well, it doesn't quite go through that one where I want it. It's pretty close on these two. But anyway, if we take the low here and then the low here, I can move this down a little bit more. I'm really close to the low, close to the low, close to the low, not quite to the low. There's not really a best fit like that. Maybe it's just a moving average going through there. I don't know. But the other thing I thought was really interesting is if I take this channel I'm going to duplicate this, move it down here. Well, X marks the spot, right? It's in the middle of no man's land. So we come back into here, actually. Let me zoom in. I was zooming in like this, thinking, okay, these are nice bounces here with, you know, a decision candle here, hammer here. Kind of got a hammer right on it. So we'll see if we get something going bullish. But if we could push to, you know, 1780, let's see, this is 1815 and this is 1847. Let me see if I can get the calculator up real quick. I don't know if it shows up. I don't think it shows up in the video. It's a big calculator. Okay. Because my head is not working. 1815 plus 1747 divided by 2. Let's get the average. 1781. So 1781 is the middle of this range here. I'm sure I could have just drawn a fib to find that. But if we can get to 1781 tomorrow, if we open up down here, we can rally up to it. If we open up and just hover on that, make another high wave candle. I mean, I'm looking at seeing us get to the 1781 price somewhere or another tomorrow, just because X marks the spot. So I know it's not worked in other places like here or here. This one, I don't remember if this was how we drew it. But you know, I hadn't done this before. I hadn't moved this over, and it just fits. So we'll see if we get into that price tomorrow. I'll leave that on here. Going back to the 5 minute, we had that sell-off that rolled over. Or I'm sorry, the breakdown of this triangle that retested and rolled over. So anywhere in here, it's a stair step. You'd be looking to get in the early 12 or the first half hour, 12 o'clock. This is calls. Let's go look at puts. This is 1725 puts, and let's see, 12 o'clock. Yeah, we were already starting to move. There was not very much volume here. The low in this one was 1410. Probably have to be a little further out, maybe 1700 puts. Those stay steady pretty nicely through here. Okay, getting into this hour, getting in around 950. What's low here? 870. Yeah, even this opportunity here. So came down to 920. So this would have been getting in around like 950 by 850, or potentially doing 10 by 9 over here, and just letting that move into the next area of support, getting out around 14 or something, you know. So that's still 4 hour and just a matter of, you know, under half an hour or so. Looking at the calls, we did start to rally into the close. It looks like it put in a nice base here around $12. That was in this range. Now it's interesting, it was making lower lows here, but the calls were still, I mean, slightly lower lows, but not anything significant. So the 1800 calls were something that were possible to trade. Sorry, should have zoomed in on this a little different. The open, that bounce was massively large, you know, massive opening candle. And to do this with options would have meant getting in, like, you know, trigger at 2250 and a stop down at 15. I don't want to think about where the target would be for 2 hour. It's just way too high, way too far. And, you know, some people got triggered in, and then, you know, more people got triggered in, and then it never made it back up there. And, you know, you're losing something, and slowly it's just drifting lower, 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 and then finally over here it takes out that low when it breaks down around 1255. And that was this candle, right? Yep, that one, 1255, taking out the low of the day. You know, that was the move. You would have need to be in that already. And then there were some people looking for a continuation down here after a really nice sideways activity here. Started to break down and almost, like I said, almost came down to 1747. And that was at 205 where it did that. And then it started to reverse. So we look at puts. So right in here, I'm sure some people were taking this breakout, getting in at 15, stop down maybe at 11 or 12, and then, you know, within 10, 15 minutes, they were getting stopped out. and losing some money on that trade if they had to stop there. If they didn't, then we'll see if they were just holding and got in way too early at a breakout, or rather a breakdown on the stock. But yeah, well, it all matters. The only thing that matters is where we open up tomorrow and how that relates back to today's indecision candle. So if we can get anything going up here, 1781 is right here. That's almost getting above this candle high. We would at least be getting above the close and the open as well. So that could be a bullish gap and go if it opens like that up here. If it opens anywhere down in here, it should be another bearish retest, which we've had a lot of those. We've had a lot of bearish gaps and some bearish moves. This by no means has to be done. It can continue to go lower. And the next area I'd be looking for support is into the 1600s down here, where we almost bounced at this point. Almost got down there. It'd be phenomenal to get down that far and then have a massive recovery like this and give people a second opportunity to get in. So we'll just have to wait and see if that happens, how things play out. Starting with, what happens tomorrow. If we gap up, down, don't do anything. But like I said, I'm looking for the 1781 price to come into play. We'll see what happens. So gives you a couple things you can do with the calls, with the puts. But, it's tough just if you were trying to, play an edge or thinking you had an edge, it may not have worked, or you may have just been able to scalp something. Yeah, this triangle became evident, after, you can kind of see some lower highs here and some higher lows here, but to see this make another move up, taking out this high, and then just continue to play out further sideways. I've seen Amazon do that quite a bit. So that's something you can somewhat expect, or wait on taking a trade bullish here until you've got another roll back down. And then at that point, it's like, well, it's not even up here to get in, bullish here. And ultimately, it broke down the relative lows here, retested, and then gave you some opportunities with some indecision candles here to get in bearish on the breakdown here, or retest back into that level and getting in bearish there. So, it just took a little more patience like that. That played out over the course of like an hour or so to really get this thing going bearish. And so you just got to kind of step back or step away from what's going on and look for key levels like low of the day, or consolidation and lows, something like this, highs as well. But yeah, could have had a nice little drop lower on a Monday with a bearish retest gap. So that's what we're looking for, is some bearish moves or quick bullish ones if you're going counter trend. And we'll be back more this week to see how things are playing out. Hope this helps. This is just AMZN. Thanks.